Welcome back to Lock and Reload. So we're going to go ahead and bring another gear to the table. Quite literally. This is a preliminary review on a weapon accessory or a firearms accessory, whatever you want to call it. I'm bringing you another UTG product. Now you guys are thinking, whoa, UTG, they make some really cheap, inexpensive parts. Cheap in the past, I would have to say yes. But you know, UTG in the last, 5 or 6 years, even in the last 3 years, they've really bumped up their quality control. I have a gear review coming up on my UTG Pro handguard. That's on my 5.56 upper of my AR-15, so stay tuned, that's coming up as well too. We're bringing you a weapon light made by UTG. This is their EL228 Weapon Light. They have a couple different options out there. They have their Exxon bulbs and they have their LED bulbs, or their Creed bulbs. Don't get me wrong, packaging that never says anything, but you know, they've even stepped up on their packaging. These products don't look as cheap as they used to. A lot of their products nowadays are honestly made in the United States. Still, a good vast majority of them are still made overseas in China and other countries. But a good chunk of them are made here in the United States. This particular product is still made in China. I try to buy things that are United States made, but you know, sometimes I'm not made of money. And some of those products, they're a little on the expensive side, so I want to go with a less expensive option. So let's go ahead and dig into the light itself. We'll go ahead and pull this out of the box, and we will go through, you know, what comes with this particular light, what are some of the features, what are some of the accessories that are included with this one. In other words, features and specifications. First off, we'll start off with the actual light itself. This particular light, as it sits, you know, you can use it as a flashlight. This is a tail end ignited light, or a tail cap ignited light, so this is ignited by your tail cap. Specifications on this particular light is a 26mm LED IRB light. This one runs at 150 lumens max output. This particular light also has a runtime of 120 minutes continuous operating time on two CR123A batteries. And again, this one, from first glance, this appears to be a very formidable light. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be your Surefires, it's not going to be your Streamlights, or even some of your Phoenix bulbs, or some of your Phoenix lights. Right off the bat, I mean, it is a little on the heavy side. But honestly, I'll take a little bit of heft on the actual light itself, just because it is what it is. I'd rather something that's going to stand the test of time. Whether this is going to stand the test of time, that has yet to be determined. But that's the beauty of my after-action reports, because we can go ahead and state, you know, what I pointed out in the preliminary reviews and see if I prove myself right or prove myself wrong. That's what makes my videos a lot more non-biased versus a lot of the other fanboy videos. But anyways, again, this is the EL228. This is not an Exxon bulb, this is an LED bulb. Now, we'll get into some of the features of this bulb, this light. This is directly off the box. Basically, it is a UTG combat weapon-mounted, handheld, tactical LED light. I find that term tactical too loosely used in the firearms industry, because the last time I checked, tactical is a mindset, not advertising or marketing ploy. But everybody seems to use that as a marketing ploy. But that's neither here nor there. This one's got an integrated reflector and bulb. Again, this is their RI8 light bulb. This one's got an anodized black matte finish, so this is an anodized finish, so it's not just painted on, it's anodized. This one has a twist on monetary push on operation. They could have simplified that a little bit better, honestly. Basically, when you go ahead and turn this light on, you can, screw on the tail cap tighter, or you can hold down the button actually. Once we get this assembled, we'll show you some of the lumens on this one and see how really bright this is for the price point on this one. We'll get into price point in a bit. That being said, continuing on, this is a combat tactical front head. So in other words, this is good for close quarter because it's got the close quarter head. So if you have to engage somebody in a self-defense, obviously it's gonna do some immediate surface damage to them. This one is a preset optimal focus beam. So you can't adjust the beam on this one, so it is preset. This one is rated for law enforcement, rated rolling stop shoulder, which is this guy right there. Not military, just law enforcement. This one comes with a pressure switch application, which we'll get into some of the accessories, and it also has an interchangeable mount. The interchangeable mount, you can actually change out the body on this particular light, and it comes with its own body to go ahead and mount it on your weapon, and we'll get into that in the video itself. So, as we sit, this is technically the tactical light configuration, or a good handheld version. You can adaptate this in your different various weapon light holders from other companies. But UTG, honestly, they did come out with their own weapon lighted mount. They have two different versions of the weapon lighted mount. The actual body itself, this is the center body for the EL228 by UTG. This one, it runs off a Picatinny rail. This one's got your tightening and loosening screws on it. The other version that they have on there is a quick lockdown, so you can quickly lock it into place. It's slightly more expensive. It's not too bad though. You're looking at about $6 or $7, if not $10 more for the quick detach. But for me, this works. Also, you do get the pressure switch, which is Exhibit A. You get the pressure switch with it, and UTG does include batteries, which is nice. They're not, they're substandard, honestly. In all honesty, they're very cheap batteries. They're no-name batteries. They're blue. They say CR123 at 3 volts. PTC 1300 ohms and 11 to 10, which I'm assuming that's manufacture date. Don't even know if they're lithium, but they're no-name batteries. So at least you get batteries. They may not last long, but at least you get them. Alright, for this application, we're going to go ahead and tear down the actual body itself to go ahead and being able to mount it on a weapon platform. My weapon platform that we're going to go ahead and mount it on is my AR-15. This has been pre-safety checked before the video, so for you firearm Nazis, don't get your panties in a bunch. So starting off, we'll go ahead and we'll tear off the tail cap itself, or the static pressure plate as I call them. And get rid of that. And then we're going to go ahead and take the body off. Set that off to the side. For some reason, I always put the light head on first. We're going to set that off to the side before we put the tail cap on, because we're going to go ahead and integrate the actual pressure switch itself. Actually, for intensive purposes, we're going to use the static switch or the twist-on switch for this particular application. Actually, helps put batteries in it. And they go positive and negative down, like most batteries. Tighten it down until it actually turns on. And I go ahead and loosen it so it shuts off. The matter of putting it on the actual weapon itself. I know this is a relatively bleeding, boring video, but you know, it is what it is. And for me, I'm going to put it on my left side. Generally, I'm right-handed, so this has to go on my left side because obviously I shoot with my right hand. Basically, we've got the weapon itself, and these just unscrew, I believe, to a point. Oh, these don't have stoppers. Strange. UTG always puts stoppers, so you don't overly unloosen your bolts. And you can put it on any position. And again, my forend on this one is actually my Mission First Tactical. Alright, I'll put it on almost all the way forward. Less shadowing. The more forward your flashlight is on your weapon, the less shadowing. Generally, you want to take a screwdriver and go ahead and tighten those down, but for video purposes, we won't do that. Alright, and that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Now this has a twist-on design where you can just twist the tail cap itself, turn it on, and you get a pretty bright light. That is 150 lumens. What I'm going to do in this video is in pitch dark, I'm going to try to adaptate some video and show you the lumens on this one, because the price point on this particular rifle, or excuse me, the price point on this particular flashlight, you get a lot of flashlight for what little you spend. You spend right around between $55 and $60 for this particular light. Now, in a defensive situation, if you only need quick bursts, you can take your thumb, your index thumb, and you can go ahead and press that in. That runs on a pressure switch from your finger itself. So that'll turn it on as well too. It's a rock solid light. Again, it's got more testing to do with me to be a proven weapon light to my liking. So stay tuned for the after action on that one. We're not going to go ahead and adaptate the pressure switch. Honestly, I've got another video on another accessory for that, so it is what it is. That being said, that's pretty much it. If I left anything out, feel free to leave them in the comments. This is my UTG EL228 Tactical Weapon Light. As much as I hate using that word tactical because it's a mindset. And stay tuned for the after action. Like I stated, if you have any questions, concerns, feel free to leave them at the bottom. This is LockNReload. As always, I'll catch you later. Alright, so you are staring at a wall that's relatively dark. So we're going to go ahead and shine some light on the UTG EL228 150 lumen light. For a just shy of $60 light, that's a pretty bright light, honestly. I'm seeing the shadow of my barrel. I don't know if I'm a big fan of shadowing like that, but it is what it is. The purpose behind a weapon light, by the way, is not to screw up your night vision. because you shoot in pitch black like that, that is in a home defense situation, that'll screw with your night vision, and it's just like somebody taking a camera and hitting the flash right in your face. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll stand a little further back. You can definitely get some yardage on this one. But yeah, that's pretty much the light in a nutshell.